They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy. Where's the more? Its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another.
The day after Kei and Tobio got together, Aoba Josai decided to have a talk with Kei, wanting to make sure that he understands what it means to date their youngest, especially Mama Iwa and the other two Keis. They brought him to the place where the whole family would go relax and enjoy spending time with one another without outside interruptions. This was something big, and they knew that if anyone outside of their family is to know about the place, they were glad it was Kei who stole their youngest heart out of so many others out there. They were now sitting on the ground, nature surrounding them, with the sounds of the lake nearby filled the air as they immersed themselves in Mother Nature. That was until Kei broke the silence, wanting to find out why Tobio's so-called family invited him out here, with Tobio not around. So why did you drag me here? Is it because you want to threaten me or something? Why would we threaten you when we literally help you and Tobio got together? True. But you can still do it though. We're not gonna threaten you so you can relax. So then why bring me out here? Well, we just want to make sure you understand what it means to have Tobio's heart. Hajime, who was seated directly in front of Kei, looked at him seriously.
Take it. If she gives you her heart, don't you break it.
I would never. The king is someone special to me.
Let your arms be a place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have.
Hajime felt tears building up just saying those words, heart tearing a little as he watches someone take away the kid he knew since they were 12 and giving him the love that he couldn't give himself.
She always has trouble falling asleep.
Uedoro knew tears was already streaming down his cheeks the moment his mama say those words towards Kei. Everyone in the group felt teary by it.
And she likes to cuddle while under the sheet.
Yeah, he does. Kei felt his heart warmth knowing how this people who weren't actually blood related to his king loved him so much that they had to make sure he knew that their precious baby was someone that needed to be cherished.
She loves pop songs.
Toru remembered the little boy who would always follow him around like a little chick and how he was such a huge fan of him, but now that little boy is going to leave his side and follow a new man and stay by their side.
And dancing and bad trash TV. There's still a few other things.
Hajime leaned on Toru, tears spilling on his cheeks as the NII sands took over them.
She loves love notes and babies.
Shigeru's heart clenched tight knowing his baby brother was finding someone other than them to love.
And likes giving gifts, has a hard time accepting.
Shinji was glad that his baby brother finally found love and someone who would cherish him as much as them, knowing he deserves it.
A good compliment.
Yeah, he's so awkward. Kei knew that King didn't thought of himself as much as a good player as the other setters, and whenever he does get a compliment he would turn into a blushing mess and giving him a reason to fall for him ever harder than before.
She loves her whole family and all of her friends.
Kentaro was sad that he won't be the only guy his baby brother would find comfort anymore, but he was happy that he found a love like he did with Shigeru, though he would hurt Kei if he does anything dumb towards Tobio.
So if you're the one she lets in, take it.
Akira isn't the most emotional person in the family, but right now he was feeling all sorts of emotions as he hands over his baby brother to someone who wasn't their family and watching him love that person more. He knew that awkward boy whose only thoughts was volleyball and milk was gone and now left a strong and intense person in the wake who was ready to leave, but he didn't want to let him go. He still wants to keep him by his side longer.
If she gives you her heart, don't you break it.
I would never, I promise you guys. They group could hear the sincerity from the boy in front of them, and that just made their tears flow faster as they knew they were leaving their baby in good hands.
Let your arms be a place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have.
Akira turned towards his boyfriend lying against him as he cries.
She'll love you if you love her on days when
Maki still remember when he first met the blueberry. He was so cute with how bluntly he introduced himself to him and how he learned how wicked the kid was underneath the stoic face. That boy will still be here even when he will leave to love another.
it feels like the whole world might cave in. Stand side by side.
Matson will forever have the memory of how that small kid came and tried to cheer him up when the rest didn't notice he had a bad day. That memory sticked with him with how awkward the boy was and how hard he tried to make him feel better. That little kid was a treasure, and now that treasure is going to make another man feel even more great than he did with him, and that made him teared up just thinking about it.
You'll make it. She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her like that. Kiss her with passion as much as you can. Run your hands through her hair whenever she's sad, and when she doesn't notice how pretty she is, tell her over and over so she never forgets.
Kei felt himself tearing up by the words they're saying and watching as they cry, trying to make sure he'll be perfect for his king, and knowing the king he would feel touched by this actions and would cry just as much as them. Uedaro didn't want to let his brother go. He didn't want to let him shower somebody else with love, but he wanted him to be happy, and if it meant him loving Kei as much as him loving Akira, well, he could try and slowly do so.
If she gives you her heart, don't you break it. Let your arms be a place she feels safe in. She's the best thing that you'll ever have.
Everyone agreed on that sentence, knowing that yes, he is the best thing that has ever come across them.
She'll love you if you love her on days when
Toru looked up at the sky, trying to calm himself down and not cry anymore.
it feels like the whole world might cave in.
It was no use, everyone was already crying knowing that they're giving their blueberry away to another.
Stand side by side and you'll make it.
Kei better be grateful that they were letting him take away their baby, as if it was any other person who tried they would never let it happen.
She's the best thing that you'll ever have. She'll love you if you love her like that.
The group then stood up, guiding Kei towards the lake, the skies going down and only the moonlight and stars guiding them in. Kei paused in front of the lake, back facing the group, not knowing why the rest lead him there. That was until he turned around and saw the group holding a flower each. Maki stood forward towards the boy who was able to steal the milk's heart, giving him the Alstroemeria flower before retreating back to his lover's side. Matson then stood towards giving Kei a gazania flower with a small smirk, eyes filled with warmth, before heading back. Shinji walked towards Kei, thankful that he loved his brother as much as him, giving him the affection and attention he deserved. Shinji then handed Kei the campanula flower before walking back to the other second years. Shigeru walked towards the boy who swept his brother of his feet and made him the happiest boy in the world, handing Kei a daffodil before going back. Kentaro stepped towards Kei, looked at him intensely before handing him a hydrangeas, letting a small smile formed as he welcomed his new younger brother. Uedaro headed towards Salty, who he knew made Tobio feel so much love, and he person that was going to take him away, and though he want his brother to not go, he loves him, so he handed Kei a chrysanthemum with smile and tears streaming before heading towards his Nii sans, crying. Akira headed towards him, knowing how much Tobio and Kei both love each other despite their banters and arguments. Those were how they show their love, and though he wanted to keep Tobio by his side a little longer, he was glad he finally has someone by his side now, handing the iris flower to him before following his voice.
She'll love you if you love her.
Toru headed towards the boy who will now have Tobio's full attention and love, eyes full of tears knowing that his baby isn't always gonna be by his side forever, before handing a hydrangea and hugging him. Kei felt thousands of emotion inside him as he watches Oikawa walks back to the group, his hands now filled with variants of flower with different meaning, waiting for one more person to head towards him, the person who he knew Tobio cherishes a lot, and vice versa. Hajime headed towards Kei, each step weighing heavy on him as the moment of letting go of his baby boy draws nearer.
On days when it feels like the whole world might cave in.
Hajime stood in front of Kei looking at him with such a gentle look that made Kei teared up just as Hajime pulled Kei down and leaned their foreheads against each other.
Stand side by side and you'll make it.
Hajime let go of him, holding him by the shoulder, tears now streaming on his face as he finally let his baby go.
She's the best thing that you'll ever have.
Hajime then brought him into a hug, welcoming him into the family just as Kei finally allowed the tears to flow and for the rest of the group to join in as they welcome the new addition to the family.
She'll love you if you love her like that.